Welcome back, everyone. Kind of a low-key day down here. Just came down after work to finish up a couple little things on this 911 Carrera. After the track day, which went well, I finally brought my little manual impact driver down here to deal with these set screws. That one I stripped out but was able to get out. All the rest of them on the car came off just fine with that impact. These are such a cool low-tech tool. It's unbelievable. Anyway, the new hawk pads and the rotors are on, but at the same time we decided to switch back to stock mufflers, not the Gundo bypass mufflers. The reason why we're doing that is because the car is so incredibly loud with the Gundo mufflers and the FabSpeak X-Pipe. So we're going back to stock mufflers right now to see how that sounds with the X-Pipe. And then in the future, the plans are, if that's not loud enough, do another Gundo modified set, but with a smaller diameter tube, or a large diameter tube like this, but put a vacuum actuated flapper valve inside of it so you can pick when it's in Gundo or when it's in open, or sorry, when it's in close factory loop. So what I'm doing right now is getting those mufflers installed. Unfortunately though, when I took the old ones off, one of the little through bolts, this collet in here actually, there's a bolt a little bit shorter than that in there, and it completely rusted in from the time I last dynoed this car, and I couldn't separate it. So I had to cut that off, and unfortunately that collet is ruined. So what we did is we bought another exhaust bracket from a breaker. Unfortunately, the bolt pattern is different because this is a 996.1 3.4 Carrera bracket. Just absolutely incredible. So seeing as the bushing was the only thing that was bad, I simply took them out of this old 0.1 bracket and installed it in the 0.2 bracket. All along the way, since we were waiting, I went ahead and went to Fastenal next door to my office, and I bought stainless steel bolts and nuts because last time we were done with the dyno, these things broke, and these did too, honestly, and I replaced them with just whatever bolt or piece of hardware I could find. I don't know. It's a bit of a situation, but I'm optimistic now. I just have to take the clamps off of the Gundos, slip clamps, and then slip them onto the X-pipes, and then get these mufflers mounted up. Then I should be able to get the wheel back on, get it set down, and get it out of here so I can move on to my next project when time allows. This thing's been sitting down here for a full week now, which is unfortunate, but it was actually registered for an autocross last weekend. I was out of town. So my brother took the electric, and that thing actually did really well. Another surprise is SCCA apparently doesn't officially allow any Fiat 500 due to rollover concerns because they are taller than they are wide typically. That's not the case with my car, and it's an electric, so the batteries and the weight is down low. So they let him run. He was in a V8 class, and he did really, really well. So hopefully that is a change in the rules for the SCCA upcoming, allowing at least electric Fiat 500s. I know the gassers do roll over a lot, so. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, so that's my next course of action, is rip the clamps off the Gundo mufflers, get them all set up on the X-pipe, and then get the mufflers installed and go from there. Seems kind of absurd. I can't button it up any more than this without doing the exhaust tips. And that's another one we kind of got stuck on. These little V-bands, one of the factory ones broke. You see it just sheared right off. So we have new ones on order, but right now I can't put tips on the muffler at all. So I just have open dumps. Actually gonna hop into the car and start it. I've never heard it with an X-pipe and stock mufflers before. So you will be experiencing this with me. Oh, come on. Oh, the Valentine was plugged in. Of course. Let me throw it on a charger. This is turning into a dramatic cold start video. By cold, I mean 82 degrees. Give me a moment. No, trickle charger wouldn't reach. It's on the 40 amp big boy. What a pain in the tuchus. Sounds good, pretty quiet. I don't think that sounds very good. It'll sound better with tips, but it just sounds really muted. I guess it sounds okay, but I prefer how it sounded before. Back up in the air, it sits a few more days. Unbelievable what little tiny parts can do to a project's progress. But what can you do? It's been absolutely beautiful outside. So I've just been enjoying more than working the last couple of weeks, hence 1 upload a week instead of 2. I do always try for 2, but it is what it is. Thanks as always for watching. Tell your friends about the channel and check out Patreon as well if you would be so kind. Thanks.